Okay, just when you think camping could not be any more terrifying, we have today's video. What is up, Rad fam? Today we are exploring the internet to find some terrifyingly scary, true camping and hiking stories that people have shared. Yep, I'm never going camping again in my life. So let's get to it. Oh, so spooky. Camping, man, I used to love it so much, and then, I just became a baby. The man in the black coat. Okay, I'm assuming this is a picture of it. Okay, yep, that's, oh, it's on Pinterest. Is that a common place to share scary stories? Maybe I should check out some Pinterest scary stories. Anyways, back to this video. When out exploring an abandoned quarry with some friends, we found this dude stood staring at this rock, occasionally twitching, but he never turned around. We were pretty creeped out and didn't investigate and left pretty soon after. That was probably smart and for your own safety. Later on that night, we found out that another friend was driving down that lane that runs parallel to the quarry, found a guy in a black coat, stood in the middle of the road and wouldn't move. She was pretty freaked out and had to reverse all the way back up the lane in the dark because he was still there. Pretty sure he was the same guy. Otherwise, it was just a big, freaky coincidence. Yeah, I'm willing to bet, guys, it was the same guy because I don't know how many creepy dudes in black coats are just hanging around quarries being weird. Unless that's a common thing. Oh, and here's some pictures. Yeah, that's weird. What is he doing? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's just terrifying. I would say like, oh, maybe someone like put like a mannequin there to scare people for this reason, but she saw it in the middle of the road and he did move, so I guess one of their friends could be playing a prank on them. But that's terrifying regardless. If I saw that, yeah, I would run. I would just leave. The cave and the candle. Took my young children to a cave not far from the house. Popular spot, but we had the place to ourselves. You can walk through it in about 30 minutes without too much difficulty. It has a tiny exit at the opposite end. That's kind of cool though. Like that'd be a cool experience for like a little kid to be like taken to like this place. No, that's actually still scary though. It was pretty muddy, so we decided to turn around and head back to the entrance. Halfway back, there was a lit candle sitting about 8 feet up one side. It was definitely not there on the first trip. I went into full-on protective dad mode, knowing there was likely someone hiding in the dark while we walked the rest of the way out. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Why are they lighting a candle? Why are they hiding from you? Why are they in the dark by themselves? Yeah, all three of those things are pretty terrifying, and I feel like you were right to be very protective of your children. That's a good dad. The circle in the ground. I was backpacking in New Hampshire and camped out for the night after a day hike. I wandered off from our fire to go take a pee and stumbled upon a circle etched into the ground with tuning forks surrounding the circle standing up straight. It looked like a creepy ritual circle and it bugged me out, so I booked it back to the group. Yeah, but I think you made the right choice. I mean, honestly, I would not feel safe staying in that campsite area because I feel like some satanic rituals were happening there recently, and I, just wouldn't want to be there in case they come back. The man in a blue jacket. Over the years, when I told this story, many people haven't believed me. Oh boy, then I'm about to believe you. But it's true as the sky is blue. Me and my brother were hiking in our new backwoods. We had just moved into a new house, and we stumbled upon a small open grass field. In the center of it, there was a person with a blue jacket crouched over. We thought it was a friend of ours that we had recently met, so I ran out to meet. I mean, that's where you messed up, bud, because I would not just be running up to an open field with some dude just crouching there. That's a little weird, bud. I did not have my glasses on. Okay, gotta leave them a little weirder. But I got pretty close enough to see that it was a grown man leaned over the carcass of a deer, stabbing it with an unsharpened stick. That is so freaking disturbing. Oh my gosh. He looked up and saw me. I was pretty freaked out, so I turned around and yelled at my brother to run, and we started to sprint as fast as we could back home. Again, yeah, when in doubt, run. Just run. Like the worst case scenario is the weird person meant you no harm and was just caught off guard, being freaking weird. Well, that's not the worst case scenario. That'd be the best case scenario. And he's like, why are these kids running? And like not realizing he's being a freaking weirdo. In any case, something weird's happening, just run. You're not gonna regret it. A cage in the mountains. A cage. Not like a trapping cage or anything, but something that could easily hold 5 to 10 average-sized people. That's a big cage. I was hiking the mountains just above the house I lived in at the time in Missoula, Montana. Oh wow, I've actually been there. Very beautiful place. Highly recommend you go see it in the summertime. Took maybe 45 minutes of walking, mostly uphill without a path, to get to the spot. round steel bars for the edges, and rope instead of chain link for the walls and ceiling. It was all set up just on the far side of a ridgeline I was walking, so it couldn't be seen, I suppose. Nothing around it, no footprints or tire tracks or anything. The rope looked undamaged as well. No idea what it was for, but it definitely creeped me out. Yeah, that would creep me out. I'd probably even report that to the police. Like, not in like an emergency sense. Like, I wouldn't call 911 about it, but I'd definitely like look up like my sheriff's like office's number and be like, hey guys, just so you know, like there's like a creepy thing up there if you want to check it out. Like, cause like the worst case scenario, actually no, I guess the best case, okay, I don't know how to word this, but like I would like, I don't care if I would embarrass myself or like make a hassle. I would rather get off my conscience just in case, you know what I mean? Or else I'm just gonna be thinking about it the whole time. And the fact that I've been to Missoula before and like it's a beautiful like quiet area, just like that's like really unsettling. We had seen these people climbing not 2 hours before. Last year I was with a buddy of mine and we were going to the Hart Creek Scramble in Alberta, but due to some health conditions he has, it was going too strenuous to complete, and we figured we'd make it an easy day and just do the simple trail. Now we're both climbers and had been to Hart Creek for rock climbing in the past and had a great time, so it wasn't a surprise to see the sporadic climbers on the mountainside as we went. Hart Creek is also pretty popular and easy for people who just want to go for a nice nature walk and maybe have a picnic. Sounds beautiful. Can't wait to be terrified about it. Anyway, so we walked in, enjoying the day, watching climbers on our way by. We saw a couple even doing some multi-pitch climbing, which means basically leapfrogging up the route. What? That's a weird mental image, but we settled in for lunch about half hour later and left a couple hours after that. On our way back, I remember seeing a climbing shoe in the creek and thinking, oh, someone must have lost this. I picked it up and my buddy got my attention. I looked further downstream. I mean, but I feel like that's not a normal thing for like shoes to be in creeks. I mean, I would take that as a bad sign. Both climbers, a young man, 29 or so, I learned later, and his partner were both lying in the creek bed, rope and harness still attached, dead. Wow. Okay. I don't think you would ever get that mental image out of your head. It turned out that the husband was an off-duty RCMP officer, and he took control of the situation. I learned later we weren't the first on scene and that the authorities had been called. It was very quiet. It was a very quiet ride back into town that day, though. Wow, that is heavy and like scary in the sense of like real life and death, man. There's a very fine line between the two. Ooh, that would make you just very aware of your own mortality. That's so sad. I made a fire and stayed up all night smoking cigarettes. So we weren't exactly in the middle of nowhere. My family and I were camping at a campground on a lake here in the Ozarks a couple years ago. My sister, her friend, my cousin, and I are all in a tent together. Okay, so I feel like a little rest assured because there's multiple people here in this situation, but I have a feeling what's about to happen next is going to make me completely throw out that logic and now never feel safe. I'm trying to get some sleep, but it's very humid and difficult to get comfortable. Around 3 a.m., I'm looking straight up and noticing a long flash of light outside of the tent. I look and it blinks again about 3 seconds later, but not in the same place. It's very close to the tent, less than 3 feet away. I'd be waking people up saying, yo, something's happening. I couldn't see it perfectly, obviously, but I could just tell. It's not like an on-off blink. It fades in and out. It's dead quiet and no animal creature could make a light as white and as bright as this. Can creatures make any lights anyways? I mean, I guess lightning bugs, but... I couldn't hear anything walking around the tent. It blinks again. Eventually, this blinking light makes its way in a circle around the tent, near the entrance where I was. That's when I promptly rolled over and closed my eyes because whatever it was, I didn't want to see it. Again, I don't understand this logic, okay? Like, if something spooky is actually happening in real life, like you pretending to be asleep or like just putting covers over your head is not gonna help the situation. I'd be waking up everyone in the tent. Quietly though, just in case. About 30 minutes later, I sit up to grab some water. I sit there for a minute wondering. There it is again, on the opposite side of the tent from me, making its way around. I man up, grab a light and unzip the tent as it nears the entrance. It stops and goes dark. I go outside and nothing is there. I made a fire and stayed up all night smoking cigarettes. I mean, I would still wake up the people I was with just to be sure, but you know, whatever, I guess. That's really creepy. What could make that light? Like, my mind's just going to aliens at this point. A rocky trip. I was backpacking in Beartooth Wilderness in the early 2000s with a good friend of mine. 3 days into the hike, wow, that's a really long hike. We had only seen one other couple. That terrifies me. I don't like the idea of being that in the middle of nowhere. On the third night at about 4 a.m., we were awoken in our tent by what sounded like screams in the forest. Big, guttural screams. Okay, yep, I would pee myself then and there. Obviously, we were freaked out sitting in the tent not knowing what was out there. We started hearing what sounded like hail for about 15 minutes, followed by heavy footsteps near our camp. Oh my gosh, I literally just got goosebumps. Ooh, I got goosebumps. My friend and I started yelling and making tons of noise, and the commotion outside the tent slowly came to a halt. This is some Blair Witch Project stuff going on, guys. In the morning, after not sleeping at all, we unzipped the tent to the creepiest scene. All around the tent were literally thousands of little pebbles that were not there the evening before. Surrounding the tent in a near perfect circle were 20 or so 150 to 300 pound boulders. What? My friend and I noped out of there, making a 3-day hike into one, practically running the entire way to the car. Smart. So smart. That's how you avoid being in the Blair Witch Project. That gave me, like, I have goosebumps all over my body right now. That was so terrifying. Charlie, can you comfort me? Charlie. He's not comforting. Nightwalker. Oh gosh, somebody's scared. Two tents next to each other, about 5 feet apart. That's too far away from me, bud. If I'm camping in the middle of nowhere and we're sleeping in separate tents, they're being smack dab touching each other. Preferably, we're just all sleeping in one big tent. Had my 3 little brothers in one tent and me and my girlfriend in the other. It's nighttime and we had to put the fire out, so it's dark. Everyone is in their respective tents snoozing it off into dreamland. About an hour later, I'm the only one awake. Oh, see, I think that's what scares me about like the whole camping aspect now. Is because like I have such problems sleeping that I know I'd be the last one to go to sleep, and I could not deal with being in the middle of nowhere, being the only one awake. Suddenly, I hear a soft, human-like footsteps circling our tents over and over. Confused, I asked who's there, with no response. The footsteps continue, so I step outside. No one. Footsteps stop. I go back into my tent. Footsteps start again. Okay, this ghost is messing with you, bud. I make my presence known and go back out. No one. Footsteps stops. Of course, I check on my brothers, but they are soundly asleep. I repeat the same process about 4 to 5 more times, believe it or not. I have a hard time believing that too, bud. Like, why? At this point, wake someone up. The footsteps always stop. I end up just going to sleep to the footsteps and not caring. When morning comes, I ask my brothers how they slept, and they respond with, "Fine, except for you walking loudly around the damn campsite all night." Oh, that's terrifying. I would never go camping again. Never go camping again. Never. Because even if it's not paranormal and, like, it's real, that's even scarier, I think, because, like, what was someone doing? Like, were they just getting a kick out of terrifying you? Ooh. Oh, okay, that's a scary picture. I don't like that one bit. Oh my gosh. Nope. The Whaler. When I was young, probably like 10 or 11, I went camping with my family. It was about 1 or 2 in the morning and I couldn't sleep. The tent me and my brother were in was really hot and very uncomfortable. Anyway, while I was trying to go to bed, I heard very faint whimper. I tried to ignore it because I figured I was just tired. Okay, I can't relate to that because even if I was super tired, if I hear something creepy, it is waking me up. Our campsite was along a road with many other camps nearby. The whimper started to get louder and then turned into crying. I heard footsteps outside of our tent and a girl crying her eyes out. Ooh, I don't like that. Now let me tell you, the sounds didn't go faint. It got louder and louder and remained in the same spot the entire time. Why didn't you go out and check in case it was like actually somebody that needed help, bud? But again, maybe it was a good thing that he didn't. I'm very conflicted. That's important because it indicates that she was looking at our tent site, crying. The crying sounds got worse, then turned into a full-on scream for a few seconds, then cut out. When she started screaming, my brother woke up. We both looked at each other and stuffed our head under our pillows. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I was so glad we left the next morning. Wow, I would not even last the night. But then again, I wouldn't want to go out there and see what was making the sounds. Oh, no. No, I don't know what I would do. Because at one point I'd be like, oh, should I yell? It's like, stay in my tent. But like yell to like wake everyone else up. And it's like, oh, and what happens if you wake like other people up? Like, and they go look and like something bad's going to happen. Then I'm going to feel bad. Or like if you get her attention from like you making sounds. I don't like that. Okay, this is like really freaking me out. Like, I think I definitely have to cover more of these in the future because these are genuinely... This is like my nightmare fuel. I know I say that a lot because I cover my own nightmare fuel, but this is really freaking me out, and I think I can only get like one more in me before like I'm gonna nope out of here. I don't want to be alone anymore. Charlie's not cutting it. He's just sleeping over there. He's not offering me any sort of support. We can cover more in the future. If you guys want to see more in the future, give this video a like and let me know down below. But like right now, yeah, one more. Okay, let's make it a good one. Campers hear different songs in the middle of nowhere. Okay, coming from Reddit. Yep, Reddit has all the scary stories. A couple of years ago, my brother bought a large piece of land out in the middle of nowhere, about 30 miles or so from cell phone reception. No, I am never going there, bud. It's quiet, there's no light pollution, no paved roads, and not a lot of people around. Shortly after he bought the place, our family spent a weekend camping on the land and doing our best to clean it up. I get some people really like it. I get it. I like solitude. Nature's beautiful. I could not do it, but no, I've seen too many scary movies to know when cell phones don't work, that's where bad things happen. On the second night we camped there, I woke up in the middle of the night to take a leak. As I was walking to the bushes in the dark, I realized that I could faintly hear music. This didn't strike me as odd because I knew my brother had a radio in his camper. I listened up and went back to sleep with no further thought on the matter. I finished up, not listened up. I was like, listened up, what does that mean? The next morning at breakfast, I mentioned the radio music. Several other people recalled waking up in the night hearing music, but no two people heard the same music. Finally, the brother who brought the radio woke up. I asked him about the music, and he seemed a bit freaked out. He woke up to something during the night and went outside to smoke. He heard music as well and had assumed it was someone else. I should mention that he was the only one with a generator and a radio. It wasn't his radio we heard. It wasn't anyone else's either. I've been back several times, but I'm a bit freaked out by that place at night. I have fun while I'm there, but I'm always armed, and I don't sleep in a tent anymore. I sleep in my SUV with the doors locked. That's just really smart. Yeah, that's just really, really smart. Highly recommend you do that. Or like sleep somewhere, like if you are gonna sleep in a tent, like park your car right next to it, just in case you have to make a run for it. Like not even for something like scary, like paranormal aspect of it, but like bears, wolves, you know? Have a plan B. Realizing that everyone heard different music when there are no people, no functional radios, and no electricity is quite creepy. Yeah, that's terrifying, bud. I would think that someone is on your property camping. And you know, that's kind of scary. Oh, okay. Well, there were some terrifying stories that make me really never want to go camping again, even though lately I've been saying I wanted to go camping. Now I definitely don't want to. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and if you liked it and want to see more like this, because there's lots more scary stories, especially camping apparently, because scary things happen when people camp. It's not about being in the middle of nowhere. It's very unnerving. But if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up so that I know, and if you have a personal, like, scary camping experience, please let it down in the comments. I want to read about it. I want to know. We can talk about it. I love talking about it with you guys. And until next time, keep it the radness, and I really hope that you don't have a scary camping experience in the future. Bye. Okay. Oh my god. I thought I heard something and then my alarm went off and then double scared me. Okay, I'm done. Bye, guys.